Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name, after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
And our first minute of work, we're taking it right into our bounce. So just give everything a good old waking up bounce and shake. Notice how your body's feeling this morning. Notice your energy level. We always want to do that little check-in from time to time. How has your sleep been? Are you getting good, nourishing rest? Have you been eating good, nourishing food? Nourishing food can sound different to each of our bodies. All right, bounce and shake, maybe move your hips a little bit, maybe take it into a little twist and shout. Notice your breath too. Are you breathing in and out through your nose? And then if things are feeling really good, maybe take it into a more lively bounce, a little bit of a jump. But if you're jumping and you're like, wow, that's not for me this morning, then you're going to take it back to that lower bounce. All right, we got 10 seconds left. And you know, we're mixing it all up today. So we've got our bone density stuff, we've got our high intensity stuff. Everything you do will be based on what your body feels like doing this morning. All right, that's time. Take it right into some gentle side bends, just reaching towards one knee, reaching towards the other. We're just waking up the spine here. Notice your breath. As you did that lively bouncing, your breath may have come up a little bit. Can you bring it back so you're breathing in and out through your nose? Go for one more side bend, just reaching towards the knees, and then we're going to step the feet out a little bit wider. Arms are going to come out nice and wide, and we're taking it into our windmills, but we're using our breath. So you're going to exhale as you reach towards one foot, inhale it to center, exhale over to the other side. So hopefully here you can bring your breath in and out through your nose. And time. Nicely done. Okay, come on up, give your legs a little shake and a little wiggle. Now we're going to step our feet so they're about hip width distance apart. We're going to do a bend in the knees, hands behind the head or hands to the shoulders. That's going to be what feels good. Go for a little hip hinge, but think about pushing your butt back. So that's the maneuver that we're looking for. Push your butt back, let your heart come forward, push firm into your feet, and then squeeze your butt a little bit as you come up. Push your butt back, and then push down into your feet to come up. Nice job. All right, now the next time you come up to that upright position, hands are either going to stay alongside your head or wherever feels the most comfortable, but now we're going to take it into a squat. So think about that different positioning. Now we go butt back, bend your knees. So the butt does come back, but the chest and the chin stay lifted. So we get a little bit of a hinge from the hips, but it's not that deep maneuver of the upper body. Nice job. 10 seconds left. All right, that's time. Go ahead and grab your hand weights. We're going to take it right into some walking. We're going to be tiptoe walking with a waitress carry. So we're going to hold our weights up and above our head, and then we're just going to tiptoe walk. So you're going to lift your heels, keep the heels lifted, tiptoe walk forward, tiptoe walk backwards. We got 1 minute on the clock. You're going to walk as fast as your heart desires. So you can go fast or slow. It'll be totally up to you. I like a little bit of a slow walk here because I like to focus on that work in my foot and my toes. But I have fallen arches. So I always have to do that little bit of extra work for my feet and for the arches. And then once you've got this going on, if you can arrange it, keep your head forward so that you're looking forward and you don't have to look down at the ground because you know where your space is. Okay, see if you can tiptoe walk your way to the center of your mat. Take a second to let your arms float down. Next up, it's going to be that bone density work. So it's 5 heel drops. And then we're doing some slow motion calf raises for the first 30 seconds. And then we'll do fast ones for the second 30 seconds. So hand weights or no, that's going to be what feels good to you. But the bone density work, we pick up our heels and we do 5 consecutive drops, but it's ugly. It's a little bit of a thump to the body. So you're going to give it whatever feels just right to you. We're going to take 5 consecutive. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now go for those half calf raises, nice and slow. Slow motion. Get as much control as you can. If you're holding onto your weights and it's asking too much, you can always put them down. But if it feels good to stay loaded, go for control. And then see here if you can watch your head posture. So we want to bring our head, heart, hips, and heels in line. So you could, in imagination, you could lift your toes, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep our toes grounded. But most of this work is coming from that chain of command. Head, heart, hips, heels, all in line. Nice job. All right, now the next time you come to that heel lifted position, we're back to those heel drops. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now we're going to take it into some fast calf raises. Go for half calf raises, but go for a little bit of speed. If you're holding onto your hand weights, keep them held slightly away from the side of your body. Nice job. Woo! And time. Okay, give your legs a little shake, 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 shake. All right, next up, it's going to be a 20-second burst for intensity. It's a dumbbell swing. We did this Monday, but we're going to do it again because sometimes I just like to repeat some things so we get them really nice and perfect. Step your legs about shoulder width distance apart. We're swinging through, but we're going to think about, we're going to get good form before we go for those 20 seconds of intensity. So we're going to hike that weight up towards your underpants. And then you're going to push your butt forward. You're going to let the momentum of the arms carry you, but it's not about moving the shoulders. It's about moving the butt and the hips. Hike it up to your underpants, squeeze your butt, come forward. All right, now we're going for 20 seconds of intensity. You're going to give it everything you got. Go with as much speed and intensity as you can while maintaining good form. Hike that weight up to your bum and then push your butt forward. You got it. Nice job. All right, now we're going to take that weight down to the ground. Nice low squat, overhead press. Slow it down, working recovery. We're still working, but now we're working in that different fashion. So we're going for that squat. So we push the butt back, bend the knees, touch down to the ground. Yes, nice job. Three seconds left. All right, that's time. Grab your second hand weight. Now we're going to take it into a staggered narrow stance. So you're almost going to imagine that you're on the closest railroad tracks that you can. So you're still kind of keeping your feet away from each other. They're not completely lined up like they're on one single railroad track, but they're pretty narrow. It's a nice close stance. And now we're going to squat. So you're going to bend down and come back up. We're only going to bend down as far as feels good, safe, and comfortable to your knees and your ankles. So bend down almost as if you're trying to pick your suitcase up and then come back up, but keep that narrow stance. Nice job. Keep your chest and chin lifted. All right, the next time you come up, switch your feet, the other foot forward, the other foot back, staggered stance, but narrow. And then once you've got that narrow stance, back to those squats. You're just reaching down and then coming back up. Nice job. All right, that's time. Now we're going to move on to 5 jumps. These jumps are for our bone density. So they're ugly lands. We're going to do 5 consecutive. It's a little bit speedy. And then we're going to take it into some dynamic lunges. forward lunges or reverse lunges, whatever feels more stable to you. Hand weights or no, also what's going to feel good to you. We've got 5 consecutive jumps. You're just taking it at your depth. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now take it into your lunges, rear lunges or forward lunges, whatever feels good. Add your bicep curl if you want a little extra something for the upper body. You know, I like to say, if your lunges feel unstable, you step them back, but wide. So we widen that base of support, so we sink into it nice and strong, and we feel stable the whole way through. Nice job. Three seconds left. Okay, now we're going to take it back to those 5 jumps. So 5 consecutive jumps. Get yourself set up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to those dynamic lunges. Add the bicep curl if it feels good. All right, that's time. Now we're going to take it into a sumo squat. We're going to hold that sumo squat position. So legs nice and wide, sink into your squat. And now we're going to go mid-range alternating bicep curls. So we're going to not going full range of motion. We're staying in that middle portion. 1 up, 1 down. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Go for the heaviest weights here that you can. Fast or slow is going to be up to you. Nice job. All right, now you're going to do a little check in here. Lift your toes. We want to make sure that our weight is distributed between our heels and the balls of the feet. Nice. 20 seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, step it in. Give your legs a little shake, shake, shake. Now we're going to take it into a bent over row. It's going to be an alternating narrow row and a wide row. So you're going to find your bent over position, bend your knees more than you think you need to, keep a firmness to your back. Narrow row, we scrape the elbows, wide in your row, and we try to squeeze between the shoulder blades. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Go for the heaviest weights here that you can stand, because we're using those muscles in the back of the body. You are stronger than you think you are. So grab the heaviest weights you can stand, even if that means halfway through you put them down and switch to a lighter weight. I'd rather you challenge your body in a safe and in a way that makes good sense to you. You've got it. Nice job. Of course, we're going to watch our head posture. So we're going to double tuck our chin just to make sure that our head, our heart, and our hips are still staying in a nice line. You guys look amazing. Nice job. And time. Beautiful. Okay, we're coming down onto the ground. We're going to take it into some prone rolling star planks. Hand weights, optional. I'm going to go hand weights, not for me, but that's just for my smooth transition that I like. So you're going to come down into that low position. For my yoga friends, think Sphinx-like position so that the elbows and forearms are down on the ground. We're going to roll over to one side, lift up into that star plank, roll through center, take it over to the other side. Keep your shoulder braced. Keep your side body nice and engaged. Roll through your center. Lift up with control. Take it back to the other side. Go for a nice, slow and even pace. No need to rush. I would rather this one be slow and you get like 3 good ones to each side. So you keep good shape in the shoulder, good engagement in the side body, like the rib cages are lifting away from the side of the ground. Yes, Nice job. Fifteen seconds left. You got this. All right, the next time you roll through center, now we're going to take it up into that knee down planking position. And it's going to be a 20-second burst of intensity for our push-ups. So start by finding your shape, right? Like knees down, a little bit of a lean forward so that we keep a planking position. And then you're going to take a test drive, lower down, push back up, make sure you've got good control. Your shoulders feel like they're positioned in a way that feels right. And then we're going to take it into a 20-second burst of high intensity. So your push-ups are going to look like what feels best to you. Knees down or knees up, totally up to you. Here we go. We got 20 seconds. Give it everything you got. Keep your belly firm. Keep your head connected to your ribs, your hips. You've got it. Nice job. 5 seconds left. Give it everything you got. All right, now take it up into a high plank. Down dog to plank position. That's all you got to do. Slow it down. Think of this as your working recovery. Still want to maintain that good form. So we lift the hips up and then come forward. Keep the belly firm. Keep a broadness in your shoulders. You look amazing. Nice work. 20 seconds left. All right, bring your knees down. Come into a tabletop position. We're going to need a single hand weight. This one's going to be an alternating row. So it's going to be a narrow row and a wide row. So load up one hand. Opposite leg is either going to slide back and stay with the toe on the ground, or it's going to be in that lifted hovered position. That's going to be what feels better to you. We're going to go for a narrow row. So we scrape the elbow against the ribs, and then a wide row. We take the elbow out a little bit. Go for the pace that feels just right to you and the depth of weight that feels just right to you. Here we go. We got 30 seconds and then we'll switch it to the other side. Watch your head position no matter what we're doing. We want to make sure our head stays in line with our ribs or in line with your hips. All right, the next time you come down, bring your knee down. We're going to switch that work to the other side. Pass your weight over and across, slide the leg out. One side might be more stable than the other, so you're going to honor the side that you're working on. Lift the leg up or keep it on the ground. Narrow row, wide row. We've got 30 seconds on the clock. The rest of the work is at your pace. Nice job. Ten seconds left. All right, that's time. Woo, lower your leg. We're going to swing it around. We're coming down into our bridge preparatory position. The first bit of work is our bone density stuff. So it's going to be our 5 arm slams. And then we're going to take it into some hip bridges. So if you want to load up your hip bridges, or if you want to put your looping resistance band on, this is a great place to do that. All right, so come down onto your back. Get yourself set up. Hand slams is going to be personal and individual. Like I can slam my hands on the ground, feels just fine to me. But if you've got bone density stuff and you're already been cautioned about your wrist, then it might be just a light slap. But when you're ready, get in position. 5 arm slams. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now lift your hips up and lower them down into those hip bridges. We got 30 seconds of work here. Use your breath. Exhale as you lift your hips up. Inhale to lower down. Load up with your hand weights if that feels like a good amount of work for you. 5 more seconds. All right, now hips down on the ground, back to those hand slams. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to your hip bridges. Lift up, lower down. Use that breath the rest of the way. We got 30 seconds of work. And time. Beautiful. Okay, the next time your hips touch down, now we're going to do a combo of work. So you're going to lift your legs up into reverse table. You're going to float the toes down. You're going to lift up into a hip bridge, lower your hips down, do a curl up, reach towards your toes so we engage the abdominal muscles, and then we lift the legs back up to reverse table. Double toe touch, hip bridge, curl up. That's the work. So we're going to put all of those 3 bits of work together. Now you're going to take this work at your pace. For some of us, especially on the double toe tap and on the curl up, it's going to feel better to keep the low back pressing into the ground. So you're always going to want to make sure you position your back in a way that feels comfortable and strong. Nice job. 20 seconds left. All right, that's time. Next up, we've got a 20-second burst. It's going to be a 20-second high intensity burst of crunches, or you can stick with those curl ups if that feels like a better position for you. So it's going to be a 20-second burst, and then we're going to take it into our wide leg abductions. So find your crunching position, hands behind your head, hands alongside your hips, or hands to the shoulders. That's about what feels better to you. But we're going to go for that 20-second burst of intensity. Here we go. Use your breath. Exhale, push the breath out as you do that little crunch. 5 seconds left. Give it everything you got. All right, release your back down, lift your legs up, out nice and wide, crisscross at the center, out nice and wide, switch the cross. Go for a slow, moderate pace here. It doesn't need to be super fast. Think of this as your working recovery. Ten seconds left. All right, that's time. Bring your left knee down to a bent knee position. Bring your right leg across the left into a figure 4. We're taking it right into our figure 4 crunches. It's going to be 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other. So right knee is bent, right hand to the belly, left hand behind your head. Think left shoulder towards right knee. We curl up, get a little oblique crunch, and then lower it down. Use your breath. Exhale as you crunch up. Inhale to release. We got 30 seconds on this side. Hand that's on the belly, you may feel a little bit of a pressure up, but we want to make sure that we're not doming up too much in the abdomen. So we want to think about drawing the belly down as we curl up. We got 5 seconds left on this side. All right, when you're ready, switch your legs. Left leg comes across the right, left hand to the belly, right hand behind the head, right shoulder to left knee. Here we go. Exhale, crunch it up. Inhale to release. 10 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, lower down for a second. Pull both knees into your chest. Now we're going to take it into our Pilates scissors. When we do that scissoring action, we're going to keep the head, neck, and chest curled up. As you pull one knee in, you're going to push the shin into your hands, create a little bit of a push resistance, and then switch. So we're going to push into the shin and then switch. So that's the work. We got 1 minute on the clock. Keep that curled up head, neck, and chest best you can. If at any point you need to lower it down to catch your breath, do what feels best to you, but we want to keep the core engaged the whole time as much as possible. Push shin into hands and release. You've got it. Nice job. All right, that's time. Go ahead and lower your head down, set your feet down, do a little stretch or a yawning stretch through the upper body. Maybe turn your head just a little bit side to side just to soothe any of that stuff out. All right, one more turn of the head side to side. Feet are going to be hip width distance apart, heels nice and close to the butt. Now we're taking it back to our curl up. So we're going to reach our fingertips towards our heels and then release back down nice and slow. Take this one at a slow pace. Think of this as a working cool down. So you're going to exhale, curl up the head, neck, and chest. Inhale, release back down. Take a nice peripheral glance at your abdomen. We still want to make sure it's not doming up. So if it feels like your belly muscles are peeking up in a little triangle, pull them down first and then come into that curl up. You've got it. Nice job. Ooh, these last little Pilates moves are brutal. Okay, grab one single hand weight. Our last minute of work. It's the bottom half of the Turkish get up. We're going to do 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other side. So right leg is long, right hand out to the side, left knee bent, left hand loaded. Hand weight up in the sky. We're going to look to that hand weight the whole time. We're going to lift up, look to the hand weight, lower back down with control. We got 30 seconds on this side. You're going to think of this as your cooling work down. So you're not going to go too fast. You're going to go for control and you're going to go for looking to that hand weight the whole time if you can. The look to the hand weight just challenges the core muscles just a little bit more. So you can try it both ways. Don't look at it, see if that feels easier, and then look at it and see if you find that little bit of challenge. Nice job. All right, the next time you come down, we're going to switch. Right knee in, right hand loaded, left leg long, left hand out to the side. We're looking to that hand weight. Away we go. 30 seconds of work here. This is our last 30 seconds, and then we're stretching it out. At the end of this work, as we've done all that Pilates work, this is the nice time when everybody's muted because you can be like, ugh. Use your voice to help you find the rest of the way. You got it. All right, that's time. The next time you come up, stay up, set your weight off to the side, and we're going to step the feet nice and long, big, gigantic bend in the knees. Think up and overhead. We're going to pull the belly up and over, lift the rib cage, and then as you exhale, reach towards your feet. It does not matter if you can touch your feet. We're looking to stretch the back a little bit. So just a nice, gentle fold. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Okay, quick show of hands. Is everybody sticking around for foam roller? Yep, 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 yep. All right. Come out of your fold, grab your foam roller, move your weights out of the way. We'll do the rest of our stretches there. I love Friday. Oh, but I meant to say that I'm going to be adding foam roller into our roundup on Mondays. So know that we're going to be getting a little bit of, as the more I learn about the myofascial release system, the more I'm going to throw this kind of stuff in. So we'll be adding foam roller to our roundup on Mondays. Just wanted you to know that that's going to happen. All right, we're going to start in a standing position. Oh, yeah, I'm already ahead of myself. We're going to start in a standing position. We're going to start with just some light twists. So long hold of your roller and just start to rotate your torso from side to side. Keep your feet fairly grounded. Let your knees and your hips kind of pivot with you, but it doesn't need to be too much. Awesome, and now we're going to take it into a little hay baler throw. So you're going to bring it to one hip, toss it over the shoulder, bring it back to that hip, toss it over the shoulder. Beautiful, go for 3 more on this side. All right, and then when you're ready, take it from one hip to the other hip and then back to those hay bale throws. Throw it over the other shoulder, bring it back to the hip. Beautiful. Nice. Last throw over the shoulder. And then set your roller down, tall setting. We're going to move it right into the fingers. So both thumbs on the end of your roller, gently push down. Take a breath. Release index fingers on the roller, gently press down, pause, take a breath. Release, go middle fingers onto the roller, gently press down, pause, take a breath. Release, ring fingers onto the roller, gently press down, pause, take a breath. Release, pinky fingers onto the roller, gently press down, pause, and take a breath. Awesome. And then both hands onto the roller, walk it back to a down dog shape. So we're walking back to that sideways semi upside down V. And then let your chest sink down. And now we're going to take our down dog into a twist. So right hand's going to stay on the roller. Left hand is going to reach across to the right thigh or the right shin. That's going to be wherever your hand lands comfortably. Rotate your torso, look under your armpit, take a breath. Wonderful. Left hand back to the roller, switching over to the other side. Right hand's going to reach over and across. Rotate your torso, look under your armpit, pause and take a breath. Beautiful. Both hands back to the roller. One more breath here. All right, soften your knees, lift your gaze, walk yourself forward. And now we're going to take that roller and we're going to turn it sideways so that we can bring it down to the ground, but we're going to bend our knees along the way. So bend your knees, touch the roller down to the ground, hands to the roller. Think about where your sitting bones are. So the bones in the middle of your butt, you're going to think about lifting your sitting bones up towards the ceiling. We're not trying to achieve a straight leg position. We're trying to lift the sit bones up. So see if you can find that lift and then release it. And then find that lift and release it. Do that one more time. Find that lift and release it. And then keep a soft bend in your knees. Steamroll the tops of your feet, rolling up to the ankles, down towards the toes. Beautiful. One more steamroll to the tops of the feet. Keep the roller on the ground. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll your way up to a standing position. Right foot on the roller, left foot on the ground. Slow roll the bottom of your right foot. Turn the foot out. Find the blade edge of your right foot. Roll the blade edge from heel to pinky toe. Turn the foot in, find your instep, but be mindful here because the knee is turned in. So we want to be mindful about how deep we go with this. Just roll the instep a little bit in, a little bit out. One more roll in and out, and then bring it into the middle of your foot, body weight forward. Do the bug squish. One more bug squish. Keep your body weight forward. Slow roll the bottom of your foot. Okay, now we're gonna bug squish the ball of the foot. So bringing the ball of your foot on, you're gonna lift your toes just enough so that they're kind of cleared out of the way and then swivel from side to side. One more pivot from side to side, slow roll the bottom of your foot. Nice. And then take it into the heel, little body weight forward, and then squish the bug on your heel. Awesome. One more squish of that heel from side to side, and then lift up, keep the right foot on, do 3 slow, gentle rolls to the bottom of the foot. Okay, now we're gonna keep toes in the ball of the foot on the roller, push your heel down. So now we're big stretch to the Achilles tendon in the back of the calf. Lean your chest forward just enough. Take a big breath in. Slow breath out. Release that foot. Take a second to just make sure it feels good. And then we're switching that work to the other side. So left foot on, right foot on the ground. Slow roll the bottom of your foot. Nice. And then take it to the blade edge. Turn the foot out. Find the edge of your heel all the way to the pinky toe. One more roll here. Okay, now turn the foot in so we find the instep, but be mindful of your range of motion here. Nice. One more roll to the instep and then bring your foot back to center. Find the middle of your foot. Lean in a little forward body weight. Squish the bug. Pivot your foot from side to side. One more squish of the bug in the middle of the foot and then slow roll the bottom of your foot. Beautiful. One more slow roll and then take it up to the ball of the foot, but lift your toes a little bit so the toes are out of the way and then pivot your foot. One more pivot on the ball of the foot and then slow roll. Wonderful. One more slow roll and then take it to your heel. As much body weight forward. Squish the bug on your heel. All right, one more squish the bug on your heel and then lift off, slow roll the bottom of the foot. Go for about 3 rolls just to kind of soothe that foot out. All right, and then we're gonna get the Achilles tendon in the calf. So toes and the balls of the feet on, push your heel down, lean your chest forward, take a nice big breath. Lift off, both feet on the ground, take a nice big breath, both arms up and overhead. Bend your knees, push your butt back, fold down towards the roller. And then once your hands have found the roller, step your knees down to a tabletop position. Once you're down in tabletop position, right hand on the ground, palm facing down, steamroll the top of that hand. Go for 1 or 2 more steam rolls to the top of the hand, and then we're gonna flip the palm. So we're gonna bring our butt weight back into our heels just a little bit, just to protect the wrist. Flip so the palm is facing up, and then steamroll the palm. Wonderful. One more steamroll of the palm, and then we're gonna switch that work over to the other hand. So right hand on the roller, left hand down, palm facing down. Steamroll the top of your hand. Beautiful. One more steamroll here, and then flip it, palm facing up. Make sure your butt weight's back in your heels a little bit just to protect the wrist, and then roll the palm. Wonderful. One more roll of the palm here, and then we're going to take it up into our forearms. So we're going to place both forearms on, palms facing up, and then we're going to gently roll forward and back. One more roll forward and back, and then we're going to flip so palms are facing in towards each other. So blade edges of the hands are facing down. Nice. One more roll forward and back, and then the next time it feels available, flip palms facing down, and then go for that slightly longer roll. So as we roll out, we kind of stretch out through the shoulders as well. Wonderful. One more roll out. And then the next time you roll out, stay there. Let your chest soften down for a minute. Let your hands just get as heavy or be wherever feels the most comfortable. Find a little bit of space for yourself. And then chest down, head relaxes. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Firm up your belly, pull up and in, and then we're going to move that roller so that it's underneath our front protruding hip bones. So we're going to, if you have tender hip bones, or just today they're feeling a little tender, you might opt to put a little blankie over your roller just so you could give that as much cushioning as they want. But if you feel ready, you're going to find those front protruding hip bones. You're going to line them up on the roller. And then we're going to lift the knees and do a little micro rock forward and back. So the toes and the elbows and forearms are going to help find this forward and back rock. Okay, now we're going to see, how does it feel to roll slightly above the hip points, as if you're trying to push the abdominal tissue forward a little bit. So you're going to come up into that with a little bit of a squish and then roll back onto the hip point. So you're just going to take it a little bit further when you roll up towards the abdomen. But if your abdomen's feeling tender, maybe you leave that part off and you just stick on the hip points. All right, one more roll up and down, and then we're going to come back to that line of the hip points. Now we're going to roll over to one side. So roll onto your favorite side first. Pause on your side. Take a breath. If it feels good, you're going to rock up and down just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to come back in line with the hip point, but we're going to stay on that right side, and then you're going to tip a little bit forward and back. So you're going to lean in towards the roller and then lean away. Okay, now the next time you come to that lean away, so you're tipped backwards just a little bit, which means for me that my left shoulder is drawing back just a little bit. Hang out in that space. So hopefully you're up in the glutes just a little bit. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Okay, now we're going to gently roll across center. So take your time as you roll across your hip points. Take it over to the left. And then we're going to pause on that side. Take a breath. If it feels good, you're going to take it into a little roll up and down. But sometimes one side might feel different from the other. So what your body wants on one side might just look completely different. So always just listen into your body and make sure you honor the work that your body's asking for. Advice I give, but don't always take. So learn from me. All right. The next time you come in line with that hip point, now you're going to see, how does it feel to do a little bit of a rock forward and back. So tipping in towards the roller and then tipping back onto your glute. Cool. Now the next time you tip back, so the right shoulder is drawing back just a little bit. So we're in that glute med area. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Wonderful. And then carefully come back through center. We're just going to pop up just enough so that we can move the roller down underneath our thighs. And then we're going to go for that big roll. So we're going to go for all the way up to the tops of the thighs, all the way down to where the thighs meet the knees. Okay, now we're going to see, can we get a little toe turn out? So get yourself to a position where you can kind of whoop, whoop, whoop your legs around so that you can get in the inner thigh just a tiny bit so toes are turned out. Keep the toes turned out, use your elbows and forearms, and then drag yourself forward and back. All right, one more roll forward and back. And then you're going to come back to a middle point, and now we're going to rearrange the legs again. So you're going to pick it up and then see if you can kind of knob your knees in. So you're going to go for like a little bit of a slight pigeon-toed situation. See if you can find that. And then your toes are just going to kind of glide along with you. Elbows and forearms are going to help move you up and down. Keep the toes slightly turned in if you can. Wonderful. One more roll up and down with the toes turned in, and then you're going to come back to a middle-like position so that you can readjust your legs, coming back on top of the middle of your thighs. Once you found that top middle of your thighs, now we're going to go for a nice little bend knee position. So you're going to bend your knees, heels towards your butt, float your toes down to the ground. Bend your knees, kind of hug your heels in towards your butt, get a little bit of an intentional squeeze in the hamstring muscles, and then float your toes back down. Beautiful. Bend your knees, hug your heels in. Lower your toes back down. One more time here. Bend your knees, hug your heels in. Float your toes back down, and then you're going to do a little bit of a butt waggle. So you're going to kind of wiggle your butt from side to side, but you're going to keep a slight firmness in your abdomen. So we're not going to drop into the low back here, but we're kind of keeping the pressure of our thighs on the roller. And then you're wiggling your hips a little side to side just to kind of wiggle jiggle all the thigh muscles. So give it one more cycle of breath. All right, and then let that come to stillness. Slowly and gently push your way up to tabletop position. Once you've got your way up to tabletop position, hop your knees up and over so we get the shins. And we're just going to take 3 quick shin rolls. So you're going to pull your knees towards your elbows and then gently move them away. Pull your knees towards your elbows. Gently move them away. Pull your knees towards your elbows. Gently move them away, and then we're going to just hop ourselves up and over so that we can sit our butt down, kick your legs up onto the roller, and we're going to move right into our foam roller walk. So we're going to walk it down towards our ankles and then walk it back up towards the backs of the knees. Okay, now the next time you walk down towards your ankles or towards the Achilles tendons, we're going to stay there. So walk it, walk it, walk it down, and then just a little pivot of the feet from side to side. One more pivot from side to side, and then walk it up like 2 steps. So we're going to come up. So we're not in the middle of the calves, but we're getting there. And then pivot a little side to side. One more pivot from side to side, and then walk it up maybe a step or 2. So now we're getting into that middle, thicker part of the calf muscle, and then come back to that pivot from side to side. That's my favorite part because that's where my calf muscles get really, really ribbony and I can like really feel the muscle tissue. All right, take one more rock from side to side and then move it on up. So we're still in the calf muscle, but we're getting close to the knee joint, and then come back to that pivot from side to side. All right, one more pivot from side to side. And then we're just going to get the roller so that it's underneath the bend of our knees. So we're going to come down onto our back and we're going to be in a butterfly position, but we want to be able to move the roller so that it supports our knees or our hips. So everybody's butterfly might want a different placement of support. Start by coming down onto your back. Let your knees drop out. So for me, comfortably, the roller underneath the edges of my knees gives me plenty of support. I feel good about that. But for some of us, that might be a little too much, and you might want to walk it in a little bit closer to your butt hip area so that it's supportive. We want the roller to support. We don't want to relax into this one. We want to feel like everything is supported. It's a little bit effortless. We're going to relax the inner thighs. We're going to relax the triangle of muscles in our pelvis. So think hip points and pubic bone. Draw your way down in imagination and relax all the muscles of the pelvic floor best you can. Relax your abdominal muscles. Arms are going to come out nice and wide. We're going to take 3 nice deep breaths here, but we're going to think about breathing into the rib cage. So think about that umbrella breath. Inhale, let the umbrella expand. Exhale, umbrella closes in, slow, slow breath. Inhale, the umbrella expands. Exhale, nice and slow. Take one more breath. Okay, now on your next inhale, legs are gonna come together like you're going for a hip bridge prep. Now we're gonna pick the hips up. We're gonna move the roller underneath our hips, but then we're gonna come back to a butterfly-like position with our legs. But if you're already here and you're like in the hip bridge and I don't wanna do anything else, I wanna stay here for the rest of my day, respect. If that's where you wanna stay, stay there. If it feels good, you're gonna lift your legs up and then you're gonna bring the soles of your feet together so the legs are butterflied out and away from each other. And now you're gonna take your butterfly and you're gonna draw it in some circles. So we want to make sure that the roller is underneath our hips, not in the low back. And then how big your circles are here, what feels comfortable to you. How do your hips move? How do your inner thighs feel? Are you breathing comfortably? Take about 2 more circles around, and then when you're ready, we're gonna reverse directions, go the other way. All right, 1 more circle around. And then when you're ready, we're gonna release into a figure 4. So left foot's gonna touch down to the ground, right leg is gonna come across the left. You're gonna let your right knee get nice and heavy. Pause there for a moment, take a breath. And then we're gonna do 3 figure 4 lifts here. So we're gonna keep our hips on the roller. Hands are gonna hold onto the roller just so it feels secure underneath you. You're gonna lift your left leg up, hug your legs in as close as you can without losing the roller from underneath you, and then float that left foot back down to the ground. We're gonna do that again. Lift the left leg up, bring your legs in as close as you comfortably can without losing the roller underneath you, and then touch it back down to the ground. One more just like that. Lifting up, touching down, and then step your right foot off of your left, and we're gonna work that figure 4 right to the other side. So left leg is gonna come across the right. Pause for a moment, that might be enough. You might choose to stay there if that feels good. Make sure the roller feels stable underneath you. Lift your right leg up, bring it as close to your chest as you can without losing the roller underneath you. Float your foot back down to the ground. Lifting up, float it back down, lift it up, load it back down, step your left leg off of the right, pause for a moment in that supported hip bridge, readjust your roller as needed, and then we're going to take little micro windshield wipers. So you're just going to gently swish the knees from side to side. So it's not big range of motion. We're keeping the hips trapped on the roller, and then the knees are just doing a little bit of micro movement work for us. All right, one more windshield wiper from side to side, and then we're going to take it into our big hip flexor stretch. So right knee is going to pull into the chest, that compresses the right side, and then left leg is going to extend nice and long. We're going to let the heel touch the ground if it can. If it doesn't, we're just going to let it be in a heavy hover. And then once you've got your left side arranged, left arm is going to stretch up above your head, and we're going to do 3 pandiculations or big yawning stretch. So as you inhale, you're going to reach and lengthen. Exhale and soften. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale and soften. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale to soften, switch to the other side. Left knee comes in, right leg goes long. So now we're compressing the left side, flexing on the right. Once you found your way there, if it feels good, right hand is going to stretch up above your head. And then add that pandiculation if you like it. Inhale as you reach and lengthen. Exhale, soften. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, soften. Do that one more time. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, soften. And now we're going to see, can we let the left leg go out to meet the right? So both legs nice and long, both arms above your head. So now it's a little bit of a back bend, but that length through the front pocket of our jeans area. Arms up and above your head, and then just take it into a nice yawning reach. Reach through your fingers, reach through your toes, create a little space through the front of your body. All right, and then when you're ready, slowly and gently walk your feet back into that hip bridge position. Bring your hands back down, pause for a moment, find a little stillness, let everything relax just for a moment. Wonderful. And now we're going to lift the hips up, move the roller out from underneath you. And then how you rearrange it is going to be totally up to you, but we're going to bring it up around our shoulder blade area behind the back. So you can either hop yourself up and over or just kind of move it around with your hands. Get yourself there in the way that makes good sense to you. Hands behind the head, or just keep your hair out of the way. We're going to pick the butt up and we're going to do that big roll. So we're going to roll from the bottom of the rib cage all the way up to the tops of the shoulders. But if you've got long hair in a ponytail, sometimes it'll get caught up in your roller. So we want to just keep the hair out of the way. Now you might be super happy just doing the big roll up and down, but if you want to get up into the tops of the shoulders, the next time you roll up towards the top, you're going to take your right elbow, you're going to tuck it against your ribs, and you're going to roll over so that you're up on top of the shoulder. Get a little bit heavy here. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Maybe do just a light little wiggle up and down. We want to make sure we're in good control here. So if this feels like it's asking a lot to keep the hips lifted and all that kind of stuff, make sure you do the work that feels just right to you. All right, the next time you're ready, lift up and off. Hand is going to come back behind the head. Maybe take a roll or two just to check in, make sure the other side feels ready for the work. And then if it feels good, the next time you come up, tip that left elbow towards the hip, roll a little bit up onto top of the shoulder. Pause there for a moment, take a breath. All right, and then if it feels good, a little bit of a micro wiggle up and down. Nice. One more little micro wiggle, and then bring it back through center. Hands are going to find the hair, lift it up, take a couple more rolls up and down, going bottom of the rib cage all the way up to the tops of the shoulders. Nice. Now, the next time you come up towards the top of the shoulders, we're going to let our butt settle down, and then we're going to move the roller up so that it's underneath our head like a pillow. So move it on up, finding that space so it's underneath the strong structure of our skull bone. And then once you found your way there, you're just going to turn your head from side to side. Okay, now the next time your head turns to the right, stay there, and then you're going to draw little micro circles in the air with your nose, turning in one direction. And then turning the other way. Awesome. And then when you're ready, roll your head over and across, turning to the left. And then once you're there, turn micro circles, circle in one direction. And then turn your circles the other way. One more circle around, and then bring it back to center. And then once you're in center, little micro nods of the head up and down. So it's not big range of motion. We still want to feel like the head and the skull are connected to the roller. One more little nod of the head up and down, and then you're gonna lift your head up, move the roller out from underneath your head. Hands are gonna be in a cactus goalpost position, and then once you're there, turn your head from side to side. Great. One more turn of the head side to side. Walk your legs nice and long. Roll up. So we're going to grab hold of the ends of the roller. Exhale, curl up the head, neck, and chest. Come up into a seated position, and then we're going to pull that roller nice and tight up against the abdomen and do that lymphatic drag. So we're going to push in and drag across the belly. So the side of the belly all the way across. And we want to feel like the fabric of our clothes, the skin, the connective tissue, the fatty tissue is kind of moving along with the roller. Beautiful. One more pull from side to side and then come to the center, a little bit of tension on the abdomen. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. And then when you're ready, release your roller. You guys are amazing.